Hello and welcome back to Space Engineers. In today's video, we're looking at another large but small ship, which, well, this one puts the colour palette to very good use, and it does come with a optional mod which you don't have to use, it just makes it look a hell of a lot better. But anyway, this thing that I'm currently driving is called the Cantharan Cruiser 09, which is this glorious thing over here. So this is a ginormous small block ship, where as you can see, pulling the camera far away, you can see the creator has done a fantastic job at basically shifting the colour gradient of all the different blocks from the white to the leaking black colouring to the sort of greenish blue colouring down to the more grey. Then in this middle section right here where all our iron thrusters are sitting, we've got a lovely little white strip where we've got some black on either end, where it sort of just merges together into the middle as if the ship has experienced lots and lots of burn marks all over it from entering and leaving an atmosphere. Of course, it can't actually do that, it's only powered by iron thrusters, so I just could be flying around in space. And it does come with a few weapons at the front there, a couple of autocannons to blast your enemies with, and it comes with a very sneaky connector, where, well, coming round towards the very back here, what we call it is a bunch of white steel blocks, putting on my light, and well, there's pretty much just nothing going on here, until suddenly... connector. And yes, behind that connector, right above it is a camera to help talk it up, and it just slides away back to the ship as if it doesn't exist. Look at that. It does get a little bit... okay, that's a little bit bad. I was going to say, it does get a little bit wonky here and there, where it sort of goes a bit clangish. But no, when it actually behaves properly, hopefully it'll do it this time. Uh-oh. Okay, and there we go. I thought it was actually going to explode there, because it moves the entire ship. But there we are. That's what it's meant to do. It's meant to hide away into the ship and act like it doesn't exist. Of course, you get all the way up to it. You can see the slight lip right there. But no, that's all the connector does. But anyway, coming around towards the very front, going, look at it, like so, press F10, find it in spawn menu. The Cantharan Cruiser 09 is a whopping 7,426 small blocks, and its PCU is 28,475. It uses no mods, but it does use a couple of the DLC packs. Got some information out there saying it's a high-speed, vertically oriented warship designed for precision strikes and deep space skirmishes. And then all the way down towards the bottom here, we see its optional mods, which is the armor edges be gone. Anyway, giving this thing a thumbs up, we're going to move around towards the very front, have a quick look around the outside, fly around for a bit, then in the distance there should be some space pirates, because I did see a mayday signal earlier, and we're going to shoot them up to see how well this thing goes. If not, we're going to slam straight into it, because why not, it's like a flying razor blade. So for the very front, we're going to start up at the very top where the cockpit is sitting, and this is what we get for the Cantharan Cruiser 09. Well, as you can see, we've got ourselves an industrial cockpit to drive this thing around, where above that we've got some white steel blocks, we've got some orange steel blocks, then down to here, in the same colour as the cockpit, with this greeny blue that goes all the way along it. Moving all the way down, there we go, it goes to an orange, once again into that greeny blue, once again into the orange, and then into the white, until we get down to this section, which is at the very middle of the ship. So here's where both your thrusters and your guns are currently going to be sitting, and we also get this very long, almost barrel-like design, or rail-like design that comes all the way out to a black tip. Looking like so, with my light turned off, that's what it looks like. Into the middle here, we've got a bunch of autocannons to blast your enemies with, and does appear to be scripted because they do not all fire at the same time. Yes, we've got a camera up there to precisely aim them. Then on the very left and right hand side, here we are for our iron thruster pods. We're only going to be looking at this side because it's identical on both. But yes, we've got a strip of very small ones, and then we've got 3 large ones, and then of course we've got a few small ones on the very edge there, within a mix of grey steel blocks go all around this in a curved pattern. That's what's coming all around on the side. We have that white in the middle, and sort of how the black or greyish bleeds into the middle. Back towards the front there. There we are. All the way down to here, down towards the bottom. Basically going to be the same as what we just saw. And there we are at the very bottom with a little red strip on the side. But speaking of the side, here we go. So yes, we can see all the lovely colour gradient of how it goes from that darkish grey over to the actual colours. But then moving all the way up, over to this section, so that's where our thrusters are sitting. All the way up to the top. There's still a bit of detail on the side here. So yes, we've got these two little, almost like buttons in the orange right there. Yes, up to the top there, there's the 09 almost bleeding down into the white. To the very top here, behind our cockpit, we've got some beam blocks. There's odd little fin that goes all the way up and across. Briefly moving up and looking down, putting on my lights. There we are, not too much to talk about over there, just some white with a bit of blue and orange into the middle. Then of course moving down underneath this thing. There we are, going to be largely the same, but this time instead of having a race spike in the middle, we've then got an inset section in a little bluish colouring. Then down the very back here, moving all the way up. Not much to talk about there until we get to the very middle. So yes, once again we've got iron thrusters, similar pattern on the side here, we've got a strip of small, then of course we've got our 3 large ones. This time, one of the large ones will be moved all the way across over to this side, where it's got a little companion small one right and down below there. Looking at the side there we go. Then back to the very back, moving all the way up. And then there we are at the very top. And there we go, and suppose once again, all the way down to here, so this is where our connector is sitting, looking at on the side, turning on my light, pressing number 9, and out it pops. Looking from this side, pressing it again, hopefully it works this time, and there we go. A little bit scary to watch, but that's how the connector pops in and out. But with that, that's a very brief look around the outside of the Cantharan Cruiser 09. Hopefully I'm saying that correctly, but nonetheless, it looks bloody fantastic how it's been done. I would have taken absolute age to actually get that color gradient from the black bleeding down onto the white, and of course changing it down to a darker tone. Well, it would have taken hours upon hours to actually get that right. You know, what I'm going to do now is just grab on my character, first person view. This is what we get all around us, so you really can't really see the rest of the ship on here. Basically just like a flying cockpit. But no, we've got number 1 for our autocannons down below here. So with the free cannon once again, because it is quite far down below the camera, firing it. And there we are. So yes, it's sort of like on a scripted pattern, so it doesn't fire all at the same time. Looks absolutely fantastic actually, it's like he's vomiting out bullets. But no, pressing number 2, that's for your camera above there, so you can precisely aim it. There we go. And then we've got number 3 for your ion thrusters around this thing to turn it on and off. So once we move forwards, we'll actually try and fly around in any directions. Not sure what's going on with the camera there, but it actually allowed me to move it around. No, we can't fly this thing around until we turn it back on. Hopping out there can actually realign this thing. There we go. Yes, now we can actually fly around all nice and proper. Anyway, number 7 is for your batteries auto recharge. Number 8 is then for your camera, which can be right next to your connector to open out the doorway. So press number 9. It pops out. There we go. And now we actually go and help dock it up. Press number 9 again. That will retract back in. Now seal it up. If it can. Come on, you can do this. And well, it basically lives there now, but no, as you saw there when it's actually all closed up, you could actually see right behind you, so despite that camera being hidden, you'd actually get a good view of what's going on behind you. Tab number 2 got nothing else, so hopping out of this, it's time to actually fly around. So yes, flying this thing around is going to be quite awkward because of the way the camera is sitting. It's very high up, meaning that if you've got anything really close below the ship, like say there's an asteroid trying to scrape past, you might actually slam into it unless you were to zoom the camera away. But if you zoom the camera away, well, you're not going to be able to actually admire the ship. But anyway, come to a stop. Here we go. Slightly slower than moving forwards, but still not too bad at the end of the day. Oh, and there we go. That pirate signal in the distance. And zooming all the way across. There they are right there. That's what we're going to head over to in just a moment. Anyway, it's moving forwards once again. Come to a stop. Actually, moving backwards feels about the same as moving forwards. In fact, it should be the same as moving forwards, because it should have exactly the same thrusters forwards and backwards. Moving left. And moving right. Compared to moving forwards and backwards, well, that is bloody slow in comparison. Moving down, not too bad, better than left and right. Moving up is the same as moving up. Then for gyroscope controls, here we go in the camera view. Moving this thing around, we'll come to cockpit view. This thing is surprisingly overly sensitive. For such a large ship, compared to the engine, in fact, getting the engine out, that's what it looks like compared to the actual ship. Hiding all that, you can barely see them in comparison. Yes, this ship is very, very sensitive, to the point that you may want to turn down the gyroscopes just a little bit. So into here, find the gyroscopes. I'm just going to drop it down just a little bit on 64. That's a lot better. Still plenty of controls to actually move this around, actually precisely shoot your target, but not overly responsive to the point that it feels like we're going to do a complete 360 just by accidentally tapping the mouse. But no, as for that, it's a fantastic looking ship. When I first saw it, I was actually expecting it to open up. So you see you have these little sections where the ship has gone. Here we go. Yes, as I was saying, I was expecting when I first saw this thing to open up like a TIE fighter, so this little rim right here and this on that side, which is flay open like that, and it'll fly around in an egg shape. No, it flies around as a straight vertical ship, and looks great doing so. But no, to finish off the video, what I'm going to do now is fly over to that space pirate mayday signal. Wherever it has gone, it should be somewhere up in this distance. There it is right there, and we're going to shoot it up, and whatever happens, happens, and that'll be it for this video. And here we are now 1.02 kilometers away from this, locking onto it, although I'm not too sure why I'm locking onto it, because it doesn't really make any difference. There are no turrets on here, but zooming up to it, and there we are. It doesn't look like there is any turrets on this thing, so I might just slam into it and end it that way. Yes, that's in first person view what it looks like when we fire all the guns. You really cannot see anything due to all the smoke being kicked up. But no, out of this, lining up it as best I can, that should do quite nicely. That will go like so. Here we come all the way forwards. And we'll just finish off the ship this way. Yes, as I was saying, it's a fantastic looking ship. Not really sure what's going on at the back there. Looks like we've got something on fire. Looks like something might be damaged by the thrusters. But here we come, straight into that ship. Oh, there was a turret on there. And there we go. That's actually quite a disappointing crash. But no, down to there. It's going to start shooting into that. They're not going to stand a chance. There we go. That's now been disabled. And well, I'm pretty sure they have been completely disabled by that volley. And there's really not much remaining. But no, as for that, as I was saying, that's pretty much it for the ship. It's a fantastic looking ship, some fantastic use of the colour palette all the way around this thing, and some fantastic use of the hinge and the pistons to actually make that hidden connector at the very back of this ship. So there'll be a link to it in the description below. Do check that out and play around yourself. Highly recommend you do, as well as a link to the Skybox I'm currently using. I'll be back with another video some point soon. Bye bye.